Welcome, everyone, on the interweb to the inaugural 2022 episode of Sis and Big Pops Culture, episode 47.
Yay.
As always, I am Big Pops, Todd Turner.
And I am Hannah Jo, a.k.a. Sis, and together we're an adult daughter and father duo. We dive into all things geek, nerd, and fandom. Every episode is family friendly.
That's right, guys. New Year's resolution.
Yay.
Watch family friendly, listen to family friendly, Sis and Big Pops. That's their New Year's resolution.
Oh, I'm like, is that actually your New Year's resolution? I'm like, okay, Dad.
No, mine was to use
up.
I do. I'm like the only, I'm the one viewer. Mine was to use up all of my, I just got excited. First of all, hesitation. The FedEx vehicle is dropping something off at the house. I see it from my window, and it is 18 picture frames for me to work on mosaic.
Woo!
So I just got, it's like squirrel. Anyway, my New Year's resolution was to use up all these stupid gift cards that I have. I got we got gift cards to like everywhere. It's crazy.
They're stupid. Gift cards are stupid.
No, well, I mean, it's just like
I'm just making fun of you.
I have a $25 gift card to Abercrombie and what is it? Fitch, whatever.
Why'd you get that?
No clue, but I thought she had to wear like a gas mask and night vision goggles to even go into that place.
That doesn't make any sense to me at all.
You ever heard of Lords and Taylor?
Mm-mm.
Me either. We got like $8.97 on a card. So it's so funny. Yeah, that's my New Year's resolution. Anyway, enough of that. Hannah, give us the lowdown.
Yeah, so it's been a hot minute since we've done this before. We've done this because there was the holidays, and then before the holidays, there were some natural disaster events that happened in my area. There was a really bad tornado that came through my community. So it's been a hot minute. So if you don't remember, or perhaps you're joining us for the very first time, hey.
Because it's your New Year's resolution.
Hi, hey, hello, welcome. We're glad that you were here. What we're going to do today is we're going to talk about some nerd news. Again, it's been a minute, so my list is the longest it's ever been. And Dad's making a face. And then we're going to talk about what we've been watching and binging recently. We are going to talk about Pop's pull list for the week. If you don't know what a pull list is, don't worry, we'll explain it to you. And it's a Hawkeye review moment today. We're going to review...
Wait, that's a crow.
That's
Sorry.
not it.
It's not a hawk.
Review the Hawkeye comic on that's available for free if you have Amazon Prime through the Kindle app. And we're going to talk about the Hawkeye TV show on Disney Plus. And man, we got some big snow where we are in Kentucky. And just for giggles, we're going to talk about the day after tomorrow.
I know. Go figure. That's hilarious. So it was a struggle for me since we haven't really met in forever. And I've seen like a bukus of movies and everything.
Yeah. I did like ones that we've seen like the past couple weeks.
I just did the last week. And the same thing with comic books. I had like a stack, but I was like, I'm just going to do the ones from this week.
Stacks on stacks.
Stacks on stacks. So Hannah, give me some news. Nerd news.
Okay, I have a lot of like nerd news of movie trailers for movies that are coming out in the next couple of months.
All right, go ahead.
Do you want me to just name them?
Well,
that's like
whatever you want to talk about.
Most of my news is Operation Fortune. It looks hysterical. It has the guy from. It has Wesley in it.
Wesley Crusher.
Carrie, whose name I can't say. Carrie.
Oh yeah. The guy that was in the terrible Christmas Netflix movie, The Castle for Christmas,
and Jason Statham, and it's like it's going to be like a Aubrey Plaza's in it too. It's going to be like a Dad. She's funny.
I just don't like her.
She's just so funny. I'm just going to laugh the entire time.
Okay.
It's this guy who's trying to get at this mob boss, and the mob boss is Hugh Grant. It's Hugh Grant versus Carrie, and that
would be good.
It's just gonna be really funny.
That will be funny.
And I'm just gonna laugh the entire time. I'm really excited about it.
Okay. What else?
There's an Uncharted, which is a video game. And Tom Holland is in it.
Stars in it.
That looks really good.
I think the trailer looks good. A lot of people who play the Uncharted game are like, this is going to be lame.
Well,
I'm like, which is,
it feels like Tomb Raider vibes.
Exactly.
It's Apparently Tomb Raider vibes, but is a boy.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
Is that bad?
Isn't no, I get it. It's what it looks like to me. Yeah. Okay.
It feels like the Tomb Raider movie, like not the Angelina Jolie Tomb Raider movies, but like the new
other
Tomb Raider movie
which I liked.
Came out.
It didn't do well, but I liked it.
I've seen it like 3 or 4 times. Like I genuinely enjoyed that movie.
Gotcha.
So that I think looks good. The Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. We finally have a trailer for that. If you stuck around to the very, very end, man, I don't know.
I know.
I don't know.
We could talk about that. I mean, we could talk about this forever. I'm
going to watch it.
I am too, because Sam Raimi's directing it and I love him. He does Evil Dead 2. So
it doesn't look
and the first 3 Spider-Man movies.
A thing that I've noticed about like this new like wave, what do we call it?
Phase.
This new phase.
Marvel phase 3.
Is it 5 at this point or 4? Like I don't know.
Idea.
They're
talk
not
about phase 4.
They're not typical.
Right.
They're not like typical superhero movies.
No,
like it's still clearly first, second, third act films, because it's hard to have a movie that's not first, second, third act film. Like every movie is like that. Like even kids' movies are like that. But it seems like a different type of vibe, and I'm here for it.
I think the whole COVID thing and doing TV series has really put, they've had to change the way they do their model. I mean, because now we're getting TV shows that we're talking about that really are 4-hour movies, and they're good. Yeah. Well, how would you know? You haven't finished 2 of them or 3 of them.
You? I finished.
Did you finish Loki?
No.
Did you finish WandaVision?
Yeah.
Did you finish Captain America? I didn't
start Captain America, so you can't be like, did you finish? Because I haven't even started it.
Gotcha. So you haven't
Mister.
Finished it. Anyway.
What's another? Death on the Nile.
Yeah, that's like an Agatha Christie. What we need to do is we need to go see this really late at night and then have Miriam fall asleep. For those of you who don't know who that is, Miriam is my middle daughter, Hannah's younger sister. And we went and saw, what was it? Murder on the Orient Express. And she fell asleep during the reveal of who killed everybody. And then she woke up and said,
who did it?
Killed him. I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
That was really funny.
Not even going there. All right.
Oh man.
Anyway.
And I'm really excited about it. I was scrolling through TikTok and this person was like, this movie looks so much like this like other movie that I saw a couple years ago. Like it's still like it feels like such a ripoff. And I'm like, do you not get that it's like that it's an Agatha Christie?
They do. They're doing that because it's
like,
TikTok.
Why are you like? Do I need to educate you about?
It's
Agatha Christie
TikTokers, right? Well, we all know that they stole the Murder on the Orient Express from the Doctor Who episode, so we already knew that. So, anyway,
do you know that their Sonic 2 is coming out?
I do, and Knuckles is coming out.
I have not seen the trailer, but Sonic 2.
I've never seen the first one. I heard it was great.
I
heard it was great.
It was awful, and then they got reviews that everybody was going to hate it, and then they spent all of this money to change it, and apparently it was really good, and I never saw it.
It was the number 1 superhero film of 2019.
That's hysterical.
Well, that's because everything got shut down in 2019.
Sonic 2 is happening.
Yeah, awesome. It's what it's about. You buy a bunch of tater tots and slushies, and you buy one get one free.
I'm here for tater tots and slushies. Let's be honest about that.
Where the Turning Red movie, have you seen previews for that?
Yes, that was one of my pieces of news.
It's going to exclusive Disney Plus. It's not going to be in the theater.
The third Disney Pixar film that has done that.
Really?
Yes. Since COVID.
I didn't know that.
The first one to go, so Onward, which was the movie that we watched for on my birthday, my quarantine birthday.
That was a good movie.
It was a really good movie.
They did that because of COVID.
Yeah,
they wanted to release it.
Then the movie, the one in the guy's head who's Soul.
Yes, that was Christmas.
And that was straight to
yeah.
And then was it Luca?
I don't know.
Is that what the other one was called?
I don't know. I haven't watched it.
Yeah, Luca. This is the mermaid boy.
Oh,
The
I never
little
saw that
Italian
either.
mermaid boy.
Never saw that. Yeah, that
And
sounds
so
like
three. So Onward, Soul,
Okay.
Luca, and now Turning Red is going to be the third one that's going straight to yeah, I don't know. And I was reading about it and Disney gave no reason as to why.
I don't know either. Maybe they just think that. I wonder if it'll be one of those premier access deals. BT Dubs. I saw where they have stated that Black Widow lost $600 million due to piracy.
Really?
Yeah, because people pirating the film.
How did they
So,
pirate it?
I don't know. I guess somebody made illegal copies and sold them at court day.
LOL. But yeah.
That's a festival
so
here in Mount Sterling.
the whole question is Lightyear going to be in theaters? Because man, I really want to see Lightyear in theaters.
They'll probably do a double thing, sort of like what, I don't know, maybe they'll do what the HBO, releasing it on their platform and in the theater at the same time.
But man,
Who knows?
I really want to see Lightyear. I want to see that in the theater. I think that would
I
be
do too.
fun.
That'd be fun.
Movie theater movie. But yeah, those were my trailers that I had been aware of. I have more
don't know if
pieces
you-
of news, but I want to hear what you have to say.
So have you seen the first episode of Boba Fett?
No.
Okay. So the first, Boba Fett is alive, right? So it means
Yeah.
he got out of the Sarlacc pit.
The thing about the filibuster
Patton
guy.
Oswalt. Yes, Patton
and it's exactly
So if you haven't seen Parks and Recreation, Patton Oswalt does a filibuster during their community whatever.
because they're
forum.
trying to get rid of this law where you have to throw a man named Ed into a pond, and he's like, no.
So he does a whole filibuster about, and it starts with Boba Fett crawling out of the Sarlacc pit, which is hilarious. So I saw that. I thought that is just fantastic.
It was a
'cause I did
video,
watch
and it was one on top of the other. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen Boba Fett either. I really want to watch it, and I'm going to. But
Episode 2 really ramps it up.
I haven't yet. But there's a video of him describing Boba Fett crawling out
I
of the
haven't seen that.
Sarlacc
I gotta
pit,
watch that.
And then on the top, so there's it's two videos.
Yeah.
And on the top is exactly what's happening of Boba Fett crawling out of the Sarlacc pit.
Funny thing is now that Disney owns Marvel and bought 20th Century Fox, so now they own the X-Men
They
as
could
well.
do
They
the...
could literally the entire filibuster. That would be hilarious. It'll never happen.
It'd
But
be a really funny, what if episode.
yeah, no, that's crazy. They'll never do that. They
And I
don't
know
mix
they'll
those
never do it,
things.
but it would be like they could do an
A
animation.
fan will
thing
do it.
about
I guarantee.
And that'd
it'll be
be
a fan-made
hysterical.
movie. Yeah, I think it's already been a fan-made movie. I think somebody has already done that.
That's funny.
With animation. So not only that, but if you for $15.99, you can get the Mandalorian Mr. Potato Head called the Yamdalorian and Tot.
Yamdalorian!
And Tot. It's like the little Grogu's like a little tater tot. It's hilarious.
Man.
You take his helmet off. He's got the ears. It's a Mr. Potato Head, the Yamdalorian.
Hysterical.
Pre-orders right now.
There's a TikTok sound that they use from that where the old guy who's
Doing the
I want
flipping
to
TikTok.
I want to see the baby.
The baby.
Yeah,
that's from that's probably Mike Myers from Austin Powers.
Oh no, I thought it was from The Mandalorian.
Maybe it is. Oh yes, the creepy guy.
The creepy guy being like,
Yeah.
I want to see the baby. And then it's people being like, here's my baby. It's funny.
The dude who had the dark saber is going to be at the Lexington Comic Convention.
Ayo. Pew, pew,
Yeah.
pew.
Giancarlo Esposito, I think
That's
his
cool.
name. Do you know Mr. Krabs is going to be in John Wick 4?
No.
Yeah, Clancy Brown.
He's gonna talk like that the entire time. He's
like this.
He's
John
gonna
Wick.
He's gonna be Mr. Krabs in the John Wick movie. That'd be
I doubt it.
hysterical.
Oh,
That'd be
and
so
my
funny.
final piece of news: Scott Pilgrim is getting an anime on Netflix.
Okay, that's pretty sick.
It's in the works, and it looks like right now the executive producer tied to it is Edgar Wright, who did oh gosh, the three movies that I love so much: Shaun of the Dead,
Oh yes, Shaun of the Dead,
Hot Fuzz.
At World's End.
Yeah,
At World's
there
End
you
was
go. Yeah, it's all right.
Compared to compared to Shaun of the Dead
Compared
and
to
Hot
Hot
Fuzz,
Fuzz, yeah, those are great movies.
it was just
But
not. It was
Edgar,
not it.
so an anime that would be cool. I would love that. So, do you got anything else on the
I
news front?
do. Cowboy Bebop was canceled
I know. What about that?
after one season. Didn't watch it, so I have no skin in this game.
I mean, I liked the first 3 or 4 episodes I watched. It was a little uncomfortable because it's adulty anyway.
Yeah. So
but
like grown-ups doing it.
it
Was,
is a
like,
it
not the
is
vibe.
it was a niche for sure. So they just don't have a lot of. I mean, the fans who love it, but there's just not enough of them, I guess, to keep them going. Oh, did you see where Studio Ghibli, whatever the heck of it, is getting a theme park?
No.
Yeah, I've been trying to watch Spirited Away, and I just can't get through it. It's creepy.
Is that the one with the eyeballs, the black giant black dude with the like slit eyeballs who like has
Yes.
coins?
Yes, yeah, that's it. Gold nuggets.
Yeah.
Yeah, no face. He's a no face.
Spooky.
I don't know. It's weird.
Spooky.
Her mom and dad eat food after dark. They turn into pigs, and she's trapped there. It's anyway. So
You
far,
can't see
that's
the
where I
look on
am.
my face, but it is one of pure confusion.
People love it. People love it.
Man, I'm so glad that there's media out there for everyone.
Exactly. Anything else?
This isn't really nerd news, but I think it would be amiss if we didn't say that Miss Betty White died last year.
And Sidney Poitier died.
Really?
Yeah. Look who's coming to. They call me Mr. Tibbs. Yeah, and Betty White. I know that's sad.
It's sad.
A lot of people I didn't realize, and I was like, 2021's got to kick you one more time before it gets out the door. Wait a
Man.
minute, Betty White gone.
Sad.
Oh, well.
But
Yeah.
2022. It's
There you
gonna be
go.
a good year.
It's gonna be a good year. That's from Tommy, the music. Tommy, from the
Yes.
Anyway.
So what have you been
All right.
watching, Daddy?
Okay, so I've been watching 2 things, but I'm only going to talk about one so I can save the other one for later.
Okay.
For next week.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm watching a new show on HBO Max for adults. It is called Station 11. It is really, really good. It is one of those FOMs, Fall of Man shows. A virus hits and it's like immediate. So there's no,
Is that a podcast?
like one out of 1,000 live. They get it. So it's extremely bad. And
What is it? Is it
follows-
just a virus?
Yeah, it's a virus. But what happens is you don't really see that per se as you see, like, it flashes back and forth between 20 years later and then, and the first 100 days. They call, so that they're in it. It starts out on a play, King Lear, and the lead for
Okay.
King Lear collapses.
Oh, no.
And a guy out in the stage comes up to try to help him.
Oh no.
But he's not a paramedic or anything. He just feels compelled to help. And in the midst of all that, there's this little girl. You know how like these big shows have kids in it.
Yeah.
So they have like the kid wrangler that handles all the children. So this wrangler is like has the hots, I guess, for the main star. So this one little girl gets left, and the guy who tries to help and rescue the guy ends up just getting stuck with this little girl. And we got to get you home. And her parents aren't there.
Oh, no.
His sister is a doctor, and she calls him and says, "This virus that's out is serious. You need to go to your brother's house and lock the door." So, and then what happens is it follows this little girl who's played by the girl from Flora and Ulysses.
Really? That little
Yes.
blonde girl.
The little
Oh,
girl,
she's
yes.
cute.
So, and then it follows her 20 years later.
Oh no.
And it's played by the girl who's in The Martian that like runs the computer screen that like finds him. Like she's doing the thing and notices that the picture's changed. In The Martian, she's back on Earth, and she's
yes, with the glasses.
Yes, she is the star of this show.
Oh,
And so-
sick! I want to watch this.
Oh, it's great. So what happens is the reason I'm liking it so much is that it's all built around this graphic novel. So the former wife of the stage star who they split up, had been creating a graphic novel for herself, just creating it, just to be creative.
Cool. Just to like,
She made 5 copies.
oh no.
You come to find that out. She gave one to him, who gave it to the little girl. Okay. So this girl has this entire graphic novel memorized. I mean, and you come to find out that she gave one to that guy's son. So it's really bizarre. 20 years in the future, she is part of a Shakespearean play company called the Traveling Symphony that they travel the circle around the Great Lake of Michigan. They just travel around Michigan, going to different places, putting on Shakespearean plays.
Okay.
And it's all about the creepy things that happen. And it's just, I don't know.
Weird. It seems like sci-fi, but I don't know. It seems interesting. It also seems really
and I know
weird. I'm here for it.
You know, your mom always says that, you know, if it's got a strong female lead or if it's a female singer, I'm a little hard on them and I don't much care. I'm like, I don't know if I like it. I really enjoy this. She is takes care of her people. And
we love that.
All these people are intertwined together that are in these different places. So I really like it. I enjoy it. It is immature because there is some adult themes, and there is bad words. There is people dying, stabby stuff, and it's people, you know. Anyway, that's what I'm watching right now. Station 11 on HBO Max. They put out new episodes every Thursday.
Okay. So I might wait and then watch them when they're all
Well, I think they're up to like 9 episodes right now.
Okay.
So, and they're about an hour long each.
Dang. Okay, cool. Okay.
Mm-hmm. What about you?
I'm learning a new craft. So I don't make New Year's resolutions. I pick skills that I want to learn for the year. And so I am learning
yodeling.
I'm learning to cross stitch.
Juggling.
No.
You can be a juggling yodeler.
That's it. I'm learning to cross stitch. So while I've been cross stitching, I've been watching The West Wing, which is just one of my faves.
I know you've watched that before.
I just love
What's that
West
on,
Wing.
Hannah?
It's on Netflix? HBO Max. It was on Netflix,
Max.
and now it's on HBO Max. And man,
gotcha.
I just like it. At this point, I just have it memorized, and it's just comforting to have in the background. They're just wholesome. I'm a fan.
I understand.
I've watched a lot of movies this week too.
Yeah, I've watched Buku's. I didn't know. I mean, I just want to run down the list. I have
4 that I want to tell you about.
Okay, go.
Okay. Kung Fu Panda and Monsters vs. Aliens are both on Netflix.
Okay, they're great.
Seen both of those classics. Mm-hmm. Trevin was like, Hannah, there's this movie on Netflix that we have to watch. I started watching it and then I stopped it because I knew that you were going to love it. Mitchell's versus the Machines.
Did you say?
And I was like, Trevin, this movie's awesome.
We reviewed this movie.
It was right when we first started dating. Right. So we went and watched that and just cackled the entire time.
That's a great movie.
That was an episode that came out.
If you guys, anybody listening and has,
it was May 26th.
This is a great movie for families to watch.
What a good movie! What a good movie. I just straight cackled the entire time, like originally.
Gotcha.
And then I was like, hey, you have to listen to us talking about this on the podcast, and played it for him.
That's funny.
That was fun.
Yeah.
And then the new Netflix movie, Don't Look Up. Have you seen
don't
the
tell me about it.
For that?
Don't tell me. I want to watch it so bad.
Okay. So we'll talk about it later.
But it's rated R, and so I can't watch that with your mom. So
they just say the F word a lot.
I know, but still, I got
No, that's why. That's why it's rated. Mm-hmm. That's why it's rated like that. They say that word a lot of times.
Yeah, I gotcha. Sort of like Ted Lasso. Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. So, right. I mean, we'll talk about that later then. The end.
Yeah. Ditto. I watched Spider-Man. I watched Matrix. I watched, go through the list. But anyway.
I haven't watched the new Matrix movie. Was it good?
A lot of people can't stand it. I loved it. I thought it was a huge
should I go watch it?
Huge social commentary on
technology. Probably
raising your people in front of screens, being forced to make another movie, or lose control of your. It was really, really.
Is that why they had to do it? Did they make this movie so that?
I don't know. It felt like, is this just are they making a joke about themselves, or is this really a slam on Warner Brothers? I don't know. but it was that part was really good. But I think a lot of people didn't like there wasn't as much ninja fighting as there might have been in the other. There still was a lot, but I enjoyed it. I don't know what everybody wanted from it, but I thought I really enjoyed it. I would say the first one's the best one, and I would say this one.
Man, I didn't much care for the second or third ones.
Yeah, well, they're weird, but I think I like.
First one was dope.
All right, what's next, Hannah?
Pull list.
All right.
Pull list.
We just jumped.
Pull list. So what we're gonna do? Dad's gonna share with us his pull list. So. A pull list is a list that you give.
It's a list of swimming pools that you've swam in over Christmas break. Heated pools.
How many pools did you swim in, Dad?
No,
so
none.
A pull list is a list that you give to the proprietor of your local comic book shop. And what they do is they make sure to order and pull from their inventory the books that you are collecting. So that way you can be sure to not miss a issue.
And there have been 1,000 good books that have come out since we've last done a podcast, but I'm going to just limit it to what came out over the last week. I really didn't want to, but I did.
I want to tell you about, I read this book yesterday that Trev is collecting called No Holds Barred, and I can't remember if you had talked to me about it or not.
I have not.
It is written in iambic pentameter, and it's William Shakespeare.
B-A-R-D.
B-A-R-D. No holds barred.
Funny.
And it's written in iambic pentameter, and it is Shakespeare fighting crime.
Oh my gosh, that is great. Where's Willie Carver when you need him? He should be watching this.
Is that not so good?
It is great.
I read it, and it is hysterical. And the art is really funny, and it's it's an independent comic. So and it's
there you go.
So it's the first issue is called No Holds Barred, and the second issue is The Deadly Wives of Windsor. And I'm like, every single thing is going to be a Shakespearean pun. And it's
that would be hilarious. I would
The
watch
Deadly Wives of Windsor instead of The Merry Wives of Windsor. It's just I'm gonna read them when he gets them, and I'm gonna giggle about it.
Which is like my traveling symphony doing Shakespeare. They're doing Hamlet on Midsummer's Eve.
I'm just saying.
So what I try to do is I try to pick 2 comics from DC, 2 comics from Marvel, 2 comics from an independent, and
a book of the week.
So my first book is from DC. It's called Justice League Incarnate. And this is issue 3 of 5. So it's a mini series. So this is the middle hump book. And it's been really funny because this is a Justice League from characters from different Earths. These daggone comic book companies and their multiverses is crazy. But
it's killing you.
The last issue, the characters in it were a ripoff of Marvel, which was hilarious.
No.
Oh, it was hilarious. This issue is like the 90s comic book. So this is like the comic book where in the 90s, all the superheroes were like big and action in your face type stuff. And it's those characters in this.
Man.
It is so good. And actually, so DC, the Justice League Incarnate has to do with Darkseid is trying to destroy the world again.
Of course, because always Darkseid is trying to destroy the world.
And what happens is President Superman ends up in our Earth and works for DC Comics and has to write a comic book. And the editor-in-chief is wanting them to make Darkseid win. And you come to find out that Darkseid was actually the editor-in-chief of DC Comics. So very, very well done. It's funny.
That's silly.
Yeah. So my first Marvel book is Elektra, Black, White, and Blood.
Ooh.
So this is a thing that a lot of the companies have been doing. They've been doing I think they did like a Superman red, white, and blue or something. And then they did a Wonder Woman black and gold. They did a Deadpool red, white, and black or something like that. So this is a comic book only in 3 colors, black, white, and red. And it's individual stories.
Is this issue 1?
Issue 1. So it just came out. So if you like Elektra, which they're really pushing right now because she's like the new Daredevil currently, you might like this. The first one had to do with vampires. It was okay. I probably won't continue to collect it, but I picked it up just to see what it was.
Yeah, we read that Elektra comic book. It wasn't an Elektra comic book. It was a Daredevil comic.
That was
Electra
bizarre.
Lives or something like that.
That was bizarre.
That was
wasn't it?
weird.
Frank Miller.
That was weird.
Yeah. So my first independent is by AWA, which is Artisans, Writers, and something. Isn't that right?
AW or ADA?
AWA. This is
I know IDW.
No, this is AWA.
Okay,
So
cool.
this is it's an independent, and
Cool.
this is an issue 1 of 4, and this is called The Fourth Man. This is sort of like a hitman type story.
Cool.
Where you follow somebody's. Feels to me like it's set in like the late 70s or something like that, and you're seeing each person's perspective, I believe. So, if you like a type of a book like that, you might enjoy this, and it's brand new. It just started.
Cool.
Called The Fourth Man. I picked it up because there was like a murder at a car lot, and it had one of those the
Trevin is
guys
collecting that, and it has blood on it. It's
Yes.
got the. He sent me a picture of that. It was like, Hannah, look at this, and it was
I know.
the Happy Dancy
Because-
guy.
which I love, and your mom gave me an itty bitty one. I have it at my work,
And
so
you
that's
have
why-
like multiple you have a shirt of the Happy
Yeah,
Dancy dude.
I'm the life of the party. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I bought it just because of that. So yeah, I enjoyed it.
Man, no, I
next,
got that's so funny.
Yeah. My next DC book is called One Star Squadron.
Okay,
And it's a 6-issue miniseries. This is issue 2. One Star Squad. There used to be a book in DC called All Star Squadron.
okay.
And
But this is just 1 star.
so this is like a bunch of D-list. D-list. Oh yeah, it's terrible. It's D-list superheroes who are like work for a company that like,
Oh, no.
hey, I got a job for a kid's birthday. You want it? They pay $100 to show up. And yeah, so there's this one character in this called the Minuteman whose powers only last a minute. And like, so he can do all these things and he's doing all this stuff and these kids are hitting him with a crowbar and it doesn't hurt him. And then his minute's up and they're like beating the tar out of him. And it was like really bad. So, it is sort of sad
Oh, no.
and sort of funny. It's like The Office almost of superheroes, literally.
It's
And
the
so
vibe.
it's like, it's cringy and funny and
funny.
still sort of sad. Yeah, right. My next independent is an Image comic, issue 4, called Frontiersman. I talked about this one before. It's about an older superhero who is camped out at the top of a redwood tree, trying to keep them from chopping these trees down. And all these people are coming and showing up, like who used to be superheroes and who were villains, and like the media is all around them. And the last issue, he killed a villain who really they thought was reformed, but he was bad. And so now the cops want him down. And this one is a little risque. And they
What does that word mean?
Risque means this is definitely not for
Grown-ups.
kids.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. And actually in the back of the book, the writer talks about intimate relationships in comic books, if they should be there. And he believes they should, because it's part of real life. And why do we only show blah, blah, blah. And I don't know. But anyway, it's a really good book. It is risque in parts. So yeah.
Okay.
My last Marvel book is called
Doo-ba-doo-doo.
Darkhold Omega.
Okay.
So I collected the Darkhold Alpha and 2 of the minis that came with it, and I felt cheated on the minis because I thought it was going to be part of an entire story.
And it wasn't.
So it wasn't. It was. So what happened in Darkhold Alpha is someone got the Darkhold. Dr. Doom's is working with it. So is Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. So they get 5 characters that they want to go into the Darkhold to get the book back to keep the evil from coming out.
Okay,
and
fair.
in order to do that, they have to read a little bit. But if they read too much, they get overwhelmed by the Darkhold. So what happened
makes
in
sense.
the individual books, it was just the evil versions of the characters that read the books, which I didn't much care for. This is the bookend of that. Where
Is this issue 1?
No, this is the end. It's just called Darkhold Omega.
Okay.
So there is no. It's just
Cool.
the
It's
end.
just this is the end. Did it
The
wrap
art
it
is
up well?
great. Yeah, but I mean, really, it was only a 2-issue book. It was really Alpha and Omega, with 5 little independent stories in between that didn't really care. I collected it because the cover was awesome, and
I want to see.
Wanda doesn't take any garb from Doctor Doom
No,
in it. So
that's
yeah,
crazy.
I enjoyed that. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. I just know they're throwing the Darkhold's going to be all over the place, and Wanda is going to be all over the place. So
Yep.
I figured it's just a
Because of this
marketing ploy
movie
from Marvel.
coming out. Movie coming out.
So my book of the week.
Book of the week is the book of the week. What is
This is a book that you're not going to pick up at your local comic book shop.
Okay, why?
Because I bought a subscription to this horror magazine called Razor Blades. It
RZ?
no, Razor, Razor Blades. This is independently published by James Tinian.
Oh,
So
yeah. Okay.
The guy who does Department of Truth, Wind. He had been doing Batman. So this is just a horror anthology. So, and this is issue 5. You have to buy this. You have to buy a subscription, and they mail them to you quarterly.
Okay.
They sent it to me in a bad looking box. I mean, it was protected, and it came with a pen.
Oh, so you're liking
company.
the subscription service.
Oh, I am.
You're feeling cool about it.
Razor blade pen.
Dad,
So-
where's this jean jacket with all these pins you're going to put on it?
I mentioned that today. I wore my jean jacket today to church and didn't have pins or patches, so I got to get
Do you
busy.
need me? Because I can send you pins.
Well, I might. I want you to send me a picture of your Death Star
Yes,
pin. 'Cause
I will.
want to make a couple mosaics.
It's pretty
of that.
sick.
But anyway, so Razor Blades is different. Some of it is good and some of it is not, but it is horror, flat out horror. And it's a thick mama. It's thick. So I have issues 1 through 5, and I just thought it'd be interesting to talk about it. It's an independently published, and it has some prose in it, and short stories and short comics. But
Prose,
not
like
an entire story.
stories?
Like
poems?
just written,
Okay, cool.
No, like a short story.
Okay.
So it's a horror magazine. Yeah, by a comic
That's pretty
creator.
cool.
There you go. That's it.
Pretty sick.
Razor Blades, issue 5, book of the week.
Book of the week. It's a book of the week.
Hannah,
Yes.
what'd you think of the Hawkeye TV show?
Man, it was cute.
I loved it.
It was
A lot
so
of people
good.
were like, this isn't Hawkeye at all. And I'm like, you knew they were going to, this is introducing Kate Bishop. So first of all, Hawkeye is, I think, 5 episodes and it's on Disney Plus.
5, 6?
6, whatever. And it is a Christmas show.
Yep.
You can watch it anytime, but it takes place the week
During
before
Christmas.
Christmas.
Yeah.
The week before Christmas. And this is going to be spoiler heavy. So
Yeah,
you should
you
have seen it
don't-
by
yeah.
now.
I mean, I didn't finish it until a couple days ago, but live your life.
Yeah. So anyway.
Man, it was really good. Words.
Say it.
I really like Haley Steinfeld. I think she's a great actress. She's
Fantastic.
so funny.
As
She's been
Kate
in a lot of
Bishop,
things. She was really good as Kate Bishop.
we get a lot. I thought we really got a lot of Yelena from
Yes.
Black Widow.
She's
We
so
get
funny too,
her-
Florence Pugh. I think she's
get her story.
phenomenal.
Yeah, we get her story.
With
We
the
we
little-
find out why.
The whistle.
Little what?
The little whistle that
Oh,
he
yeah.
does.
Yeah, because that's what Black Widow would do. But you find out that she disappeared during the blip, and
Wakes up 5 years later.
wakes up
Yuck.
5 years later. So we get that. We get Vincent D'Onofrio as the Kingpin.
And Trevin, so we started watching Daredevil. We watched maybe 2 or 3 episodes, and then everything happened with the holidays and the tornado. And so we just haven't gotten back into watching
Right.
that.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, it's Kingpin. And you don't know who Kingpin is, but he pops up, and Trevin's like, oh, he's a creepy dude. And I'm like, yeah, he is the creepy dude.
He is bad.
He is a
my biggest
bad mamma jamma.
my biggest issue with the show was the fact that Haley Seinfeld has an entire fight with him and doesn't break anything.
I'm up in here like,
He
how
would
are you?
crush her.
You would be like, have so many shattered bones and would just be like, bleh, like on the ground, like, not
I know.
okay.
That right there is what I mean. Granted, she's
Like,
a martial arts expert, but yeah. I enjoyed that. I loved the quote unquote
LARPers.
villain. Oh, the LARPers. Okay, let's start with the LARPers.
Okay.
The live
loved
action
them.
role players was hilarious.
Yes. And the scene where he's like walking through the forest trying to get to the guy who took the costume.
I love thinking he could
and
kill
is
every one of them.
like stabbing people, and the people are like, it's like slow motion, and he's just walking like normal, and everyone's just like, bleh, like slow falling like to the ground. Oh, it's so funny.
It was so good.
It was so funny.
Take that bag. You can't have this bag. My wife made me this bag. She gave me this bag.
That was so funny.
Has my name embroidered on it. I'll get your bag back to you. Yes. Yeah, it was so cute.
funny. It was like it was wholesome. His wife as Agent 61?
I think it's 19.
Was it 19? Oh.
Yeah, it's not 61.
I'm
it's 19.
flipped. Oh,
Because it's 6'1" and 19 looks.
I'm dyslexic a little bit.
Here's the deal. It should have given it away when they start talking to each other in Russian.
German.
Was that what they were talking to each other in German?
Because I have subtitles and it said speaking German.
The kids go, it's dad. So in the comic book, he had a relationship with Mockingbird, who was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but Mockingbird is killed off in the Marvel comics. I don't know if they ever bring her back or not. I haven't paid attention, but that was so yeah, she is Mockingbird, Agent 19. Yeah, what about that?
Was this man? I was screaming about it. I'm like, no way.
Which then you realize anybody breaks into that house,
they're just not okay.
The mom is not going to just step on Legos, which is what happens remember that the Age of Ultron, I think Tony Stark steps on Legos or something. I can't remember, but
man,
I think I really liked was how they portrayed people with certain disabilities.
Yeah, there was a woman who is hearing impaired who's deaf, and she also
not only that
only had one
amputee.
leg. Yeah,
so her
crazy.
Named is
Maya.
Echo in the comic book, which is why they call that echoes. Yeah,
gotcha.
Because that's what she would do. She sees things and can echo what other people do.
Cool.
That's why, as a child, they show her watching those people, the kids do the karate or whatever.
Okay.
And she is deaf in the comic book.
Cool.
So, and actually, she is the Phoenix currently.
Really? Okay, sick. You go, girl.
I know. Yeah,
man.
And she's American Indian, I believe.
She's
in the comic book.
Beautiful in the TV show.
I loved how they did the dad speaking in sign language and everything. And I loved how Clint, being unable to hear with his
because that was a whole thing that's really big. The comic that we read and the Hawkeye TV show felt very similar.
What about that?
Me. It was exactly like the color palettes were very much the same.
Well, it was a little bit different, but they had some of the same
but like the whole
aspects of
trick arrow thing.
Yes.
Where he was like, no, we can't just make trick arrows. And like, she like labeled them like with the label maker.
Was hilarious.
And then in the comic, there would be like trick arrow, like Sonic arrow. And
Net
then it
arrow.
would show it. And then it would, it being used.
He had a boomerang arrow too.
Yeah, he did. I thought that was so funny.
And
it was boomerang. And in the TV show, she's like, what about a boomerang arrow? And he's like, that would be so dumb. And then in the comic, he had a boomerang arrow.
Yeah, so we just go ahead on that. So on that comic is called on the Kindle app or Comixology. You can, if you have Amazon Prime, you can read this for free. It's Hawkeye issues 1-5 called My Life as a Weapon. It was put out in 2016. It also reprints Avengers Presents #6. But there is if you enjoyed the Hawkeye TV show, you should read this comic because there is a lot in it.
The tracksuits are in it.
The car,
the
car that he doesn't want to get totaled.
The dog
gets wrecked anyway. The dog, and he's eating pizza too in one of the scenes.
And
yes, Did you notice
whole,
the
like-
dog? The dog even only had one eye.
The dog only had one eye, and this dog has one eye.
Yes.
And he does the thing with the coin in the
Yes. In the comic.
And man, there were so many parallels. I thought that was so interesting. The big thing in this TV show was Hawkeye as a human, because everyone else, I mean, not Black Widow, but everyone else in the Avengers had powers and had like superheroes.
I'm just a man with 2 sticks and a piece of string.
Yeah. And so his whole thing was like, he has hearing aids now because like of all of the explosions that he's been so close to, like he can't hear, and his body is like tired because he's
the first thing he teaches her,
he's
a human. The first thing he teaches her is how to put Band-Aids on.
Appropriately use butterfly bandages.
And keep from getting infected. That's what what are we going to learn? He goes, you put this on and put this on. And then he's got like, I don't know if it was like margarita mix.
It was it was like a frozen daiquiri mix or something like that, like taped to his arm.
Taped to his arm too.
So good.
That was so funny. Yeah. So the big difference between the comic book was, it felt to me like in the comic book that Hawkeye was a little bit of a doofus in the comic book.
And he's like not nice.
Weird. Not he's weird. Just a little bit off.
Like a loner vibe.
Yeah. I liked him better in the final. I liked the comic book where it collected the Hawkeye comic book better than I liked the Avengers Presents one-off in the back, where he is Ronin in that one. So we get Ronin in the comic book too. But I liked it in the fact that he let her steal his bow and arrow. Because I really truly believe that we are moving towards a Young Avengers movie.
Yeah, that's what you said. And I think Haley Steinfeld as like Hawkeye is going to be good.
She will probably be the leader.
She's funny.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Maybe Yelena. No, not Yelena.
Yelena, I don't know. Should be part of the Thunderbolts. That's going to happen too. Thunderbolt. No, different.
Okay, sorry, my bad.
All right. So how did you feel? How many bullseyes do you give Hawkeye?
I really enjoyed it. The TV show, 4.5.
Yeah. There you go. I'd say that. Yeah. Pretty close. Yeah.
Pretty close.
And the comic book was good.
Man, the thing that got me was this mom.
The mom
in that was just a turd.
Okay. I loved the sword guy.
He was at first. It was like not. I did not like him.
I didn't like him.
And I kept being like, Trevin, I hate him. I don't like him. He's the worst.
And at the end,
I don't like it.
He's awesome.
And he's like fighting. He's like using in a fencing pose, like fighting these people. And then the paramedics and first responders are all of the people who are like LARPers. This like LARPing guild are these like paramedics, police officers, first responders, things like that. And they come out in their like guild uniforms to feel more powerful. And then they start like directing traffic. And they're like, what about this guy? And Hawkeye's like, he's on our side, but he should probably stop.
So he felt a lot like in the comic book we read, they had the Circus of Crime, the Masters of whatever. You remember the circus? Yeah. And they had the guy with the sword. He felt a lot like.
It felt like that vibe. The mustache.
Yeah. The ringmaster, I think, Sue, what his character's name was.
It was so funny. Yeah. Oh man, it was so good. The thing that we really need you to go get these like what do you need from us, Hawkeye? Oh, just run of the mill evidence tampering. Can you go get that's what they run of the mill evidence tampering.
Evidence tampering.
Dead.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Dead. Well, DED.
There you go. All right. Well, listen, guys, we have had some bad weather here in Kentucky. A lot
6
of people,
inches of snow.
And before that, Hannah lives in Bowling Green, and we were going to have a podcast before
we're going to have
Christmas,
a couple.
And tornadoes hit, and there's been some serious damage. People lost lives and lost houses and homes, and it's just, and now we got like 18,000 inches of rain. It's been rough. But one thing is people in Kentucky are extremely resilient and strong folks.
Yeah, man.
And caring people.
The thing that's been most, what you were going to say, and I'm sorry I interrupted you, Dad. The thing that's been most beautiful about all of this is watching how my community loves each other so resiliently and so strong. Like it's been really, it's been heartbreaking, but also very good.
Anytime that, I don't know, maybe this is weird, but we like to watch disaster movies now let me preface this, that have a good, wholesome feel,
Message.
like that people come together in, which is why I love 2012.
Oh man,
like 2012.
The end of 2012 just stabs me in the heart.
I
just cry.
And why we always watch The Day After Tomorrow, especially after we get 17,000 inches of snow.
Yeah.
Which we just got. And which, by the way, Moonfall is coming out. Same guy.
Man,
or Moon or whatever.
Stoked about that. Moonrise, Moonfall.
Whatever. I hope it has a good ending, like these all seem to have a good ending. Not like zombie movies where it's just horrible and everybody
Shaun
dies.
of the Dead is funny.
It is funny.
Shaun of the Dead has a good ending. World War Z has a good ending.
No, World War Z doesn't have a good ending. It's not over.
It does.
There's still zombies.
Well, they're going to figure out a cure.
The best part of that was Doctor Who actually worked at WHO, at the World Health Organization.
That's a
Peter
really
Capaldi.
funny thing.
That was the best part.
We giggled about that.
That's not true. I love that movie. I take it back. But we watched The Day After Tomorrow, which, what year did that come out?
2004, 2007 or something like that. Like
if you
in the
guys
early
have
2000s.
not watched The Day After Tomorrow, this was Jake Gyllenhaal before he was super popular. I mean, he was still big. Young
enough to be a 17-year-old boy and for it to be believable that he is a 17-year-old boy.
Yeah, exactly. And what happens The Day After Tomorrow, it's basically a science fiction show that has to do with what's happened with the global, it's basically a global warming storm.
The global warming disaster movie.
Yeah, exactly. Has Dennis Quaid, Bilbo, Ian Holm is in it. Celia Ward is in it.
Bilbo.
Don't even start that. It lasts about two hours.
It's a long movie.
It's 2 hours, I believe.
I took notes while I was watching it.
Okay, give me some notes. I want to see the notes.
Man, I hate planes so much. Like
I don't hate
the
planes.
bit where there's like turbulence and then the cart goes and it almost crushes the lady. I'm like, ooh, I hate planes. I hate planes. I hate planes. I hate planes.
I love planes. I'm always afraid I'm going to be late getting there.
Man.
That's why we're there 2 hours before our plane.
I love being there 2 hours before.
Ditto. What else?
Thing that I kept thinking about is like Occam's razor. Like, let's just like, no matter like even if it seems implausible, if it's the most plausible outcome, then then that's what the outcome is. Right?
Gotcha.
Like all of these being like, oh, well, let's come up with all of these different reasons why this could be happening. And these things aren't related. Like, no, there's like drastic weather events happening all over the place. Of course they're related.
Well,
like
that's
Occam's
because
razor.
the vice president was an idiot.
The vice president in this movie was a turd.
But he does redeem himself.
He does. He redeems
Which is
himself
why I
very
like
well.
these movies. They're all redeemable.
He redeems himself very well. And the whole thing about like at the very end being like, oh, we are now guests in countries that we called the third world. All we can like, we're so thankful for their hospitality. I'm just like, oh. I ugly cried this entire movie. And I think part of the reason I cried so much was because of having just like everything that's happened around my community recently. Right, and so like, I'm like, man, I hate tornadoes. Like this snow's killing me. And man, I forgot how sad it is. It is a sad movie.
I want you to know that. So on the night when we had on the day we had all the bad snow, I had to work because I'm in a health facility. So leaving there, I had heard horror stories about the highway. So I decided I would take a back way home.
You did not take the back way home. The giant
I did.
hills?
Yeah, absolutely. And here was my reasoning. My reasoning was that if I put the van in a ditch, I can walk to somebody's house.
And knock on somebody's door and be like, hey, they'll help you out.
Odds are they would let me come in and be warm. When you're stuck stay off the highway. Stay off the highway. So anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The part where they're like figuring out that he's stuck. Like, so this kid, has a crush on this girl. They
but
go
he's a part of
to
a quick
he's a part-
recall tournament.
Yeah. They go to New
New
York
York.
to be a part of this tournament. They get stranded in New York because the planes are grounded after all of the tornadoes hit LA.
They get stranded at the library.
They get stranded at the New York Library. And the boy's dad works for NOAA,
He's
the
a
National
climatologist.
Oceanic Atmospheric. I don't know the
Blah,
words.
blah, blah. Yeah.
NOAA.
Yeah.
The place where if you want to know how much snow you're going to get, you go there. Because when I was a kid in high school, and if it said we were going to get 3 to 4 inches of snow on NOAA, that meant we weren't going to have school. Like
Gotcha.
I knew to go to the
In
NOAA
Kentucky,
website.
it's Chris Bailey, KentuckyWeather.com. Did we get I don't know. Anyway.
So he calls Jake Gyllenhaal calls Sam. Sam, is that his name?
The dad?
The boy? Is his name Sam?
I can't remember what his name is.
Calls his dad and is like, hey, what's going on? And the dad's like, it's going to get really stinking cold. You need to stay in a place, keep yourself warm. I'm going to come get you. Because he's used to working in like the ice in
the Arctic.
In the Arctic,
it starts out with them
North
at the
Pole.
Arctic.
They're at the North Pole and
Sam.
the shelf
The dad's
falls off.
name is Jack.
Yeah.
Sam and Jack.
And so Jack and his wife they're separated. They're not married anymore. And he's like, hey,
they are married. I think they are.
Are they married?
I just think they're separated.
Are they separated? Okay.
I don't know.
Well, he's like, I mean, they're very kind and loving towards each other. You could just
I think
see
they end
that
up.
this dude
it
cares
feels
a lot
to me
about
like
his work. Yeah,
feels to me like
that's the vibe you get too. And he's like, hey, I'm going to go get our son. And he says, I have to do this. And she says, I know. And then I just started weeping about him saying, I'm going to go get our kid. Because
she's
like, yeah, you have to. Yeah, go get our kid. Yeah.
But he's equipped.
Yeah, because he's like, I've walked longer than that in the snow.
He knows what to do.
That's what he said. I walked longer.
I would do it too, even if I didn't know what to do.
Well, Dad,
listen, they made fun of they were making fun of me at work on when I showed up there the day because it wasn't snowing or nothing, and I brought long johns, that scarf you made me, my boots, my big boots. I had a hat. I had water. I had nabs. I had all this in the car, and they were like, "Ha ha ha!" Until we got ready to leave at 1:37, and it was like coming down crazy. And then they were like, "How much you want for that scarf?" And I was like, "Too bad, so sad." So there you go. Be prepared.
Man, the thing that killed me at the very end, I was sitting after the movie ends, and they're fine and safe. There's some peril about getting some medicine, and they get the medicine, and then the dad gets there and with his friend.
The computer generated wolves or whatever.
Hysterical.
But it was 2004. What do you expect?
I mean, yeah, it was perilous. But the thing that I kept thinking about at the very end, what made those 4 adults listen to this random 17-year-old kid? Because there's a giant group of people in this library, and this 17-year-old, I keep saying little, but he's not little. Like when you're 17, you're basically a grown up. The 17-year-old kid is like, hey, don't do this. Stay here with us.
Because
my dad is part of this. He's coming to get us. He says we need to stay here.
He says
the librarian.
He didn't tell them he was coming to get us. He just said, my dad said we need to wait it out. If we go out there, we're going to freeze to death. Okay.
And the 4 people that stay with him are the librarian who was working on duty that day, the homeless dude and his dog,
yeah,
the atheist man, and the lady with red hair.
Yeah, the young girl. Yeah.
And then 4 kids. So it was 8 of them in this.
First of all, there is 20 feet of water out there, and 2 hours ago it was water, and now it's solid ice.
Ain't no way.
I ain't going out there.
We staying here.
Ditto. I'd be like, what are you dumb? What are you? Red eye flashes twice. Anyway.
What are you, stupid?
Yeah. So listen, guys, watch this movie. It is a fun movie.
It's on HBO Max. And it's
serious?
Good. Yeah, where'd you watch it?
I own 2 copies. 2 copies. What do you mean?
I remember when it came out, you went and watched it in theaters because the whole joke was that you had plans to go see it with a friend, and it was like, Dad's gonna go watch the day after tomorrow. Like that's what the whole joke was.
There you go.
And I remember you going to see it.
Liked it so much, I got 2 copies.
LOL.
Isn't that hilarious?
How did we end up with 2 copies of that movie?
I have no idea. That was back when they had movie stores and you could rent movies and then they would have them for sale for $5 a piece. And I think I bought it and then your mom knew how much I liked it and bought me a copy.
I was going to say, this is a movie that we've seen a lot of times.
It's
like anytime a big snow comes in, we watch this movie.
I'll probably watch it again before spring comes.
Kind of morbid of us.
It's not even in my top 10 movies, but it's like, I'll watch it.
So good.
Yeah. I mean, I'll watch it with commercials if it's on TV. What's the heck with that? Man. And then I'll go, why am I watching this with commercials?
I
own
DVD.
2 copies. I have 2. All right. Well,
I would, 5 out of 5 snowflakes on this one, Dad.
Oh, yeah. 5 out of 5 snowflakes.
5 out of 5
snowflake
snowflakes
is different. So that's 10 out of 10 snowflakes. All right.
Man, I don't know. It's just a good movie. And it's sadder than I remembered it being. But I also think part of that is
but it's very triumphant as well.
That I was just in a mood when I watched it, you know?
I understand. It is sad, but it is triumphant, which is why I like it. I think because humanity, there is good in people, and it's evident, especially right now during all the stuff that's going on here in Central Kentucky.
Yeah,
you know, people doing things for other people. Like one of our people that we know here in town posted on Facebook during the snowstorm that if anyone is stuck in town, I have extra rooms. You know, stuff like that. So anyway, thank you for joining us for our first podcast of 2022.
2022,
and,
baby.
Woo-woo. Pew, pew, pew.
Pew, pew, pew.
Pretty soon we're going to hit 50.
I know. 3 more. And it's our
like
50th.
Like a special guest.
Okay, who do you want to be our special guest?
Anybody that's special.
Anybody. So
Guest
any
wise.
person, because everyone is special, Dad.
That's right. So we could have everybody. We could just have people jump in.
Yeah.
To our podcast.
That'd be sick. That'd be fun.
Yeah. It says you can bring people in on the camera. I don't know how to do that.
I don't either. I don't know. Okay.
Anyway.
End roll.
End roll.
Friends, thank you so much for spending about an hour with us today. We're so glad to have you on our little corner of the internet. Our intro music was written and composed and played by Brockwell Nason. Written, composed, they're the same thing. Brockwell Nason made that for us. Hey, you can check him out on Apple Music. You can check him out on Spotify. He's our cousin. He's my cousin, Dad's nephew. And hey, he's a pretty cool dude. Our art is created by Nate Turner. He made that in Microsoft Paint, which, man, what a skill. What a craft. Thanks for doing that for us, bud.
Yeah, guys.
I maintain and edit our podcast on our podcast app, and Dad is in charge of our videos. Thanks for doing that for us, Big Pops.
And I'm trying to do Twitter, but we only have 1 follower on the new Twitter account because you still have the old one active.
I don't know how to turn it off. I thought I did turn it off. I'm so sorry.
Killing me, Smalls. It's all right.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, guys, thank you for joining us.
Yes.
And next time, we'll catch you
on the flippity flop.
flop.
Ayo, one day we'll get that and say it at the same time.
Clap.
Okay, bye, friends. Bye,
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 guys.
bye.